Yukendoit's Further Adventures in Japan.
Hello, all you wonderful people. This is an iPhone. I'm filming on an iPhone 6 right now. They're really convenient, they're great to use, and I can edit on it too. But if your cell phone has a problem, you might be out of luck. Let me tell you my story.
Let's go back to America. The year is 2015. I walk into a nondescript store and get an iPhone 6. A couple months pass and I get to go to Japan, where the adventures began. After 2 years, as with all electronics, I start to notice some issues. The battery would drain within about 20 or 30 minutes. My life was dependent on battery packs, especially if I wanted to film anything. If my phone happened to die, it might take about an hour to boot back up. And also, when it was on, it was very hot to the touch. It was on fire. I think the point that I knew I needed a new phone was when I was on the subway, my phone died, and then I had to ride a bike to a place I didn't know where to go, and my phone would not charge even with a charger. So I called up the company that provided me with the phone and the services to use the phone, and asked, what should I do? What should I do? And I was told a couple different options. One of them was that maybe I could go to an Apple store and either get my phone replaced or repaired. I said, if I get a new phone, because if I replace it, there might be other issues, I'd like to get a refurbished phone instead. Do you think we'd be able to transfer over the SIM card, because I have an American carrier and I'm using it in Japan? Do you think it'd be possible for me to use it in Japan? There wasn't a definitive yes or no, but there was a confident, I'm pretty sure we'd be able to do that. But the seed of doubt was planted deep inside of me, and the seed began to grow. In order for someone to see my phone, I'd have to make an appointment with the Genius Bar. By the way, if you live in Japan and you want to make an appointment with the Genius Bar, you gotta make sure that you make your reservation in Japanese. So if you don't know Japanese and you don't know where the store is, you're kinda SOL. But that's life, isn't it? But after I figured that out, I figured out how to find the store and kanji and all those fun things, I ended up at the store. I had two options. I could either A, replace the phone for about $360, get a replacement iPhone 6, or I could replace the problems that were wrong with the phone, which was about $240. I went with replacing the phone because I figured that would be a better option, because what if this phone has already got problems? I should probably get a new one. This is just how I think. Long story short, I ended up with a new iPhone 6. But the problem was I couldn't get on the internet. I could use Wi-Fi, so it wasn't a problem with the phone, but I could not get on the internet. Me and the technician, we both tried and tried at the Genius Bar, and all of a sudden, it came up. 5 bars, I'm on the internet. I looked at the guy, I said, thank you very much. I thanked him, and I asked him questions about what would you do if you didn't have your cell phone? Like, you just lose your mind, you know? 10 years ago, it wouldn't matter, but now these things are your lives. You look into them and it's your personal life. And I walk out of the store, walk down the street, take some pictures, check out my new option on my phone. Like in Japan, when you take pictures, you now will always hear the sound of the picture being taken, or video. You cannot shut that off because of piracy. Basically, hentai people. So I get in the subway, I'm going home, and all of a sudden I get this message. This is locked? What? I have to go to work. I can't go back. I have to make another appointment. It takes 2 days to make another appointment. It's okay. No big deal. I'll just call up my company at night. I'll ask them, hey, I got this phone. Just switch me over. Would that be all right? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, great. It'll be wonderful. That night comes. I call up my company, and I get a person, and I'm like, hey, I got a new phone, can you help me out with this? And he proceeds to ask me for the APN, which I believe is the network that you're trying to get on. Like, imagine you open up a window, you can see out the window into the network. We try to open up that window, and I'm told, I'm sorry, sir, this phone is locked. We can't help you. Maybe you can go back to the Apple store and they can unlock it for you. Also, by the way, you can add a new line to your phone. And at that point, I'm just sitting there. I'm unable to get onto the internet. I'm unable to fix anything. And I'm being told that I can add a new line. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that option. Of course, on the phone, when I'm working with people, I know what it's like to be a service person, so I'm always kind and nice. Always, always be kind, because if you poo-poo on everybody that's trying to help you, guess what? No one's ever going to help you again, so always, always be nice. I'm a little perturbed, but I make an appointment for the Apple store again. Unfortunately, I have to wait 2 days. The next day rolls around, I finally get to the iPhone store. It takes about... The iPhone store, the Apple store, excuse me. I finally get in there, sit down, we can't figure out what's wrong. We can't figure out what's wrong. They wipe my hard drive. I said, that's fine, just wipe everything, it'll be alright. Then I finally get someone who's able to help me. He explains, I don't think it's the phone. I don't think it's our side. I think it's your side. Well, what could be wrong, I said. And he explained to me, well, it works like this. When you called the person, what did they say? They tried to help you, but then they also tried to sell you something, right? You've hit the first wave of people. What you need to do is make it to the second wave. And I was like, I don't understand. Well, the first wave of people that you're going to get in any customer service is going to be salespeople. They'll have a little bit of technical knowledge and be able to try to help you, but their main goal is to try to get you to upgrade. The reason that phones are so difficult is because they want people to upgrade. I just say, this is too much. I'll just get a new contract. I'll get a new phone. I'll get something else. Just give me something different. So the idea is that you have to get to the next level. And to do that, I needed to know new words. So he explained to me, you need to explain this. I think that the problem is the ICCDI number and the MIDI are not matching. If you explain in technical terms, you might get someone that's technical because you'll sound like you know what you're talking about, and then you'll be able to get to the next level. I was with him for 4 hours. It takes me a long time to understand technical stuff, and it takes me a very, very long time to understand what I'm supposed to do. But eventually, I figured it out, I wrote it down, and I called my company. My company at first, they told me, I'm sorry, there's absolutely no way that we can help you. We tried this, and then I repeated, are you sure that the ICCID numbers and the MEID numbers match? And they were like, yes. And I'm like, you're 100% sure. Can you check one more time for me? And they checked one more time. And then I was pushed up to a person that basically just said, just listen to me. I'll walk you through it. And as long as you're on Wi-Fi, we'll be able to get you on. He didn't say that, but guess what? He did it. So if you ever get a new phone or want to use your old SIM, make sure that you know what you're talking about before you get in. If you know anybody that's technical, or if you have an iPhone, talk to them. Ask them at the Genius Bar, what should I do? How should I do this? Because you need to get past that second level. That's American consumerism. That's American politics. It's American business politics. I think it absolutely sucks, but it's part of life. They want to make sales. Regardless, if you have a phone and you want to change it and you're in another country and you have an iPhone, go to the Genius Bar, talk to them, tell them your problems. And what I learned from the Genius Bar was the iPhones are never, ever, ever locked. They are sold SIM-free and lock-free. They're unlocked and SIM-free. So, you should not have a problem.
The one thing I've learned through this whole process is, what will we do without these things? 10, 12 years ago, we were fine. Now we can't even imagine living without our little tiny black mirrors. Get out, smell the roses, enjoy life, enjoy what is out there. And always, you can do it, I can do it, we can all do it. You guys stay groovy, have a wonderful day, peace.